Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New York Empoleon's Week 6 battle of the Draft Jam. We are here this week taking on... see, I'm getting myself all sorts of confused. This is Glop this week. The reason I'm getting myself confused is because as of recording this, within less than 24 hours, I will be on a flight out of the country. And so we're just trying to get this battle in, and I also will be out the entirety of Week 7, so I'm asking for a slight extension. It won't affect the YouTube video at all, but it's already been like chaos just from this trip that was planned. Now, at this point in the season, obviously, we are not doing so hot. We are in dead last in the league. We are 1-4 with 3 weeks left, and it's hard to see the silver lining there. The silver lining, though, is not that hard to find. It turns out that I am 1 game and 2 differential out of a playoff spot. 2-3 minus 2 is currently 7th. I am currently 14th at 1-4 minus 4. So actually, it's a little bit chaos towards the bottom of the division, and 7th makes playoffs. So I am by no means eliminated at this time. Obviously, gotta win games or else I will be eliminated at some point. But if I can pick up a win and some of those 2-3s end up losing, I could stay 1 game out of the playoffs with 2 to play. And if I can win another game and more teams lose, I could still be 1 game out of the playoffs with 1 to play and possibly controlling my own destiny depending on who and where and why the situation ends up where it is in Week 8. So everything's a must-win from here on out. Basically, everything counts as the playoffs, but we are going to treat this season like it is not yet over. And my opponent's team, as you've seen on the screen, is Archaludon, Cerulege, Cresselia, Florges, Glamora, Iron Bundle, Keldeo, Landorus T, Mandibuzz, and Scizor, with Cerulege, Cresselia, and Florges as the Terra captains. My team does not handle Iron Bundle well. That was the first thing I noticed. Also, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm leaving in 1 day, so everything's crazy. So I apologize if I sound like I'm about to fall asleep. I instead just woke up. But anyway, I don't handle Bundle well. To be honest, I don't really handle Keldeo well, although I do have a Primarina, which helps a little bit. But yeah, this team, it's hard for me to break down. And similar to when I used the Endeavor Iron Tread set, this team is really hard for me to break down from full. So we are going to use Primarina as bait. Primarina is really good in this matchup. My opponent's going to want to eliminate Primarina, or at least handle it. Or they're going to use it as setup fodder. Florges can check Primarina forever. They run like Terra Steel or Terra, something that resists Fairy or Water, and they are just going to Terra Poison, something like that. And they are going to Calm Mind on me forever. Forever. Or they're going to use Cresselia, and they're going to T-Wave, and they're going to do all these annoying things. So I'm going to set up a Calm Mind. I'm going to bring Primarina in on something that it can sit on. A Mandibuzz or Forces Out like that. Keldeo, and I'm going to set up a Calm Mind. And I'm going to force them to be like, oh, okay. They're Calm Mind. I have an answer to Calm Mind. I'm going to go into my Florges. I'm going to go into my Cresselia. And I'm going to click Whirlpool. And then I'm going to click Perish Song. And I'm going to sit there, calm minding, waiting until the Mon dies. And then I'll switch out, obviously, to save myself. Florges does have utility in Baton Pass, but if it's Baton Pass, it's not calm minding itself. And I can maybe actually just kill it with Moonblast. Cresselia has no way out except for, Healing Wish or whatever the Cresselia version of that is. The Mons I want to trap are Archaludon, potentially Cresselia, Florges. If Florges does Baton Pass, it actually just brings the Perish Song with it, so I'm fine with that. Those are the ones that I can't get out of Perish Song. This team has a lot of momentum. Mandibuzz, Landorus, Keldeo, Scizor, Bundle. They all have momentum. Sure. But those are not the Mons I'm trying to trap with Primarina. I'm trying to trap a Florges, I'm trying to trap a Cresselia. Whichever one, or both, I can get. I really wanted Protect on the set, but I could not fit it because I need the Calm Mind as bait to force those Mons in. Because if you're not forced to switch into those, you could go into a bundle, like Choice Specs Bundle, and try to just kill me with a Freeze Dry. You could go into something like Archaladon or Glimora if you're like, I can just outspeed and KO, but those can't KO when I get the +1 off of Calm Mind. So, so that's going to be the set we're running this week. I really hope I pick up at least one off of the Parasong, or at least force a weird situation late game. Even if I don't live long enough for Parasong to get the kill, it can force them to switch, which forces them into a worse situation, needing to take a hit or let a Mon go down. Next up is Terra Water Iron Boulder. It resists the Hydro Pump from the bundle, but it walks into Freeze Dry, and there's no real way around that. That is just what it is. It's going to hit water, it's going to hit grass, you know? That would resist the Hydro Pump, so we're running a Mighty Cleave, Earthquake, Swords Dance, Agility set. This thing basically answers everything. I'm Clear Amulet so that the Lando can't switch into me and you know, reduce my attack or anything like that. I considered Adrenaline Orb with Swords Dance just to get the +1, but +2 was just nicer because it gets me over Choice Scarf bundle or booster bundle. And, you know, Mighty Cleave answer goes, you know, Ceruledge, Cresselia, Florges, Lando, Mandy, Scizor, don't appreciate a Mighty Cleave. And then the other things are Chaladon, Glimora, Keldeo. They don't like getting hit by an Earthquake. You know, none of them are super bulky. So, +2, this thing goes absolutely bananas. I don't know if I'll get to +2/+2. It might just be like, which of these two moves is better? Usually it's going to be Agility, but we don't know for sure. Next up is the Revavroom. This is Terra Electric. Odds are this is actually what I'm going to Terra. I have the Terra Blast on this for that reason. Terra Electric allows it to resist Bullet Punch from the Scizor, while also immediately being more of a threat to Bundle and Keldeo. Iron Head goes pretty hard here. It does need the Lando to be chipped before I can go crazy because it's not Terra Water or Terra Grass or anything like that. It's Terra Electric. So Lando needs to be worn down to some degree. But once we get a Shift Gear up, we could go crazy. Scizor is going to be answered by Temper Flare. And we can just Iron Head basically everything else. And Terra Blast should cover, you know, the couple of Water-type Mons and Mandibuzz that would maybe be physically defensive for this Mon. Next up is Iron Treads, Earthquake, Ice Spinner, Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock. It's my Rapid Spinner. It's Pasho Berry, just in case. I don't know. That one was sort of just like I don't know what else to put on this thing. I do want Rocks Up, and I do want Rocks Up early. Their Mandibuzz and Scizor could remove, but I want to see it. I want to see Boots. I want to get these up early. It's not necessarily a lead, but it is an early game Mon to try to get those Rocks Up, spin away if they are trying to set up their own hazards somewhere along the line. And an Earthquake Ice Spinner was just solid coverage for the probable checks to this, and that's really where that comes in. Next up is the Raging Bolt, Shukaberry. Again, coverage move from like an Earth Power Glimora or something like that. It's not really going to love taking an Earthquake from a Lando no matter what. I mean, it will live it, but I'm not really answering a Lando either. Thunderbolt, Dragon Pulse, Thunderclap, Calm Mind. Again, similarly, I want a Calm Mind setup and be able to outpace something like a Florges. Terra Ground Florges could easily come in on this, which is really annoying, but I will have to deal with that. And, you know, if push comes to shove, I can go out into my Primarina right away and try to answer a Terra Ground Florges and go from there. And lastly is Zapdos. This is a Galarian Zapdos with a White Herb in close combat with Acrobatics. It's very, very spammable throughout the game, and if I can get a Trailblaze off. So early in the game, I'm tempted to close combat, you know, pop my White Herb. Don't need it's not like I'm getting an Unburdened boost, so pop the White Herb, get the item out of there, and then later I can use Acrobatics with Trailblaze if I can get myself set up. So close combat early, maybe knock off, and then switch out, and then come back in later with Trailblaze and Acrobatics to try to outspeed and out-prioritize, you know, the entire team. And Acrobatics is super duper spammable. That's the roster, and we're going to get into the battle and see how it goes. I need a win. I've been close. I've been getting 1-0'd in like every game, but I need to actually get the W. So I will see you all back here momentarily with the battle. All right, we're back with the opponent's team of Iron Bundle, Landorus, Scizor, Mandibuzz, Archaladon, Cresselia. So no Florges. I'm kind of cool with that. And no Keldeo? Okay. No Ceruledge, no Florges, no Keldeo. And no Glimora. So they'll have to tell me what the Crest Terra type is. Don't have it yet. We'll get it momentarily. They have not yet told me the Crest Terra type. I'm looking at Discord right now. They do have both of their pieces of removal. I don't know why Scizor is so large compared to every other mon. Like, why is its sprite so much bigger? But, I'm going to have to make a choice here without knowing the Crest's Terra type, which is not ideal. Keegan is pinging Glop actively. I'm going to let the timer fully expire. Wow. Got it in with literally 1 second left. I don't know. That's a little weird. Okay, it's Terra Poison, is what I was confirmed. With literally 1 second on the clock, which... Okay. So they do lead with the Scizor. I'm leading with the Iron Treads here. Close combat does just straight up kill me if they are choice banded. Earthquake would do about 50%. Is that a shot I'm willing to take? Then I would know they're banded. Non-banded doesn't kill. So yeah, we're going to go Rocks here. I know they could have Defog in a couple of different places, but this shows me if they're Boots on the Mandibuzz, which could really help me reveal that. It shows me. Otherwise, it just helps with Bundle because it just knocks down to 75%. Odds are they're not Boots Bundle. They could be Boots Bundle in this matchup for sure, but if not, if they're Booster or if they're choiced in some way, then we get that 25% for free. And for free is a strong word if they are choice banded close combat here, but... And they are. They are choice banded close combat. Okay. So Scizor kills Iron Treads with close combat. We know you're banded. So we have a couple of choices now. Primarina is kind of interesting, knowing that this is choice banded close combat. Set up a free Calm Mind here. There's really nothing that's going to switch in on that happily, except the Cresselia, which is Terra Poison and is clearly their answer. And if I Calm Mind, I could just straight Whirlpool, just locking in the Cresselia, since I'm 100% certain that Terra Poison Cresselia is their answer to Primarina. And yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and just do a Whirlpool here. I don't need to show the Calm Mind if I'm very certain that that's their answer. And if it is our Chaladon that comes in or something, then all right, got a Whirlpool off on that. But yeah, they are choice banded Scizor, so they are going to switch that out. Very, very obvious. And this has to be Crest, right? Like that's they've told me with 1 second left that this is their answer to Primarina. So we're going to Whirlpool here. I love that Primarina's head like wiggles back and forth as its Whirlpool is spinning on the Cresselia. And we're going to Parasong. And we're going to try to take out a Cresselia with Primarina in the best way possible. I assume they're going to Terra, and I assume they're going to go for like Terra Blast and just like try to get damage off because, you know, why wouldn't they in some way? They could have like Lunar Dance to like, you know, kind of turn this around on its head a little bit. But I don't lose Primarina if they choose to go for Lunar Dance. I just have revealed a part of my set. And that's okay because Calm Mind, Moonblast, obviously Scizor kind of walls that, but other than that, it really goes kind of hard here. So, and this thing doesn't really love to stay in on its Scizor anyway. I have Revavroom if they lock themselves into like Bullet Punch. So they do Terra. This is not at all surprising. Probably going to go for a Terra Blast. They just go straight for a Calm Mind here, and I will Calm Mind after. They do outspeed. But we're going to Perish Song here. How much is +1? +1 Terra Blast doing? It's doing about 50%. So I can Calm Mind here. I only have to live 2 turns. And they may not have Terra Blast. You know, this is their answer to Primarina, but they might have just been trusting, like, Psychic Noise to, like, outstall me, because there's no way a Primarina can break this if they're, like, Moonlight, Calm Mind, Psychic Noise, and something. And they were like, okay, I'll just win the 1v1 eventually against a Primarina and not just, like, immediately have that pressure of Terra Blast. They could, though, because I don't know what the 4th move would be. So if they go for a Psychic Noise here and I go for a Calm Mind, they just, like, aren't going to break me in time. And then the Cresselia will die. Primarina will be at probably about 50% and +2. Well, I'll have to switch out, but, you know, I have no reason to attack. And they go for a Moonlight here. Calm Mind, Moonlight. Yeah, I'm just going to Calm Mind here. Take way less damage. Cresselia. Perish count falls to 2. Okay. So we'll Calm Mind again. Now I'm looking at taking, like, basically no damage. Understanding that I'm also not doing anything, but, like, they are going to get 1 hit off, basically. If they go Calm Mind here, they're going to get 1 hit off on whatever I switch in. So I have to figure out exactly what I want to switch in on the Cresselia at +2. They go Psy Shock. Okay, so they're going to get a big hit off here. They get a crit, which does something. But we'll Calm Mind again. Perish count's going to fall to 1, and this is where I switch out. We show Leftovers, so it takes a little bit less damage. So they don't have the Terra Blast. They show Shy Shock and Moonlight and all the other good things. Perish count falls to 1. My Perish count falls to 1. We're going to switch. They're not going to switch. So the question is, what is the last move here, right? Because Psyshock's going to attack something. I mean, it looks like Iron Boulder pretty safely comes in against that. If the last move is a poison move, it also pretty safely switches in against that. They're Shed Shell? They're Shed Shell? Did they actually catch me on that? That's unbelievable. That's incredible prep. Dang. Dang. I really don't want this to be Terra watered, to be honest. But I sort of expect a U-turn's going to come out here from the Scizor. Oh my god, if they're Shed Shell, I don't have an answer to the Cresselia anymore. Alright. Alright, they got me. They got me. They got me good. So Choice Banded, U-turns doing about 50% to Raging Bolt. That's what's coming out here is a U-turn, 100%. Like Revavroom could come in on that, but I don't really want it to come in on that, so we're gonna go Bolt here. Oh my god, they're Shed Shell Cress. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. There's the U-turn. Absolutely crazy. We need to get the Revavroom in. We need to set up a Shift Gear. At some point, we need to figure out how to do that. If I can get the Rev of Room in and Terra Electric, we are in, you know, somewhat decent shape with a Shift Gear up. Temper Flare can answer the Scizor. Bullet Punch is still not going to do much. Terra Blast at +2 can just OHKO a bundle. And Terra Electric makes it so I'm not as immediately weak to Psyshock. And I will have to figure out how to break through the Cresselia, but, you know, that is what it is. That's absurd. That's absurd! What a prep. What a prep. I just get out-prepped, dude. Every week. This league, I mean, I knew going into it, this league was going to be very good competition. Players are going to be solid. They're not going to make mistakes, but, like, I did not see Shed Shell Cresselia coming this week. I'm not going to lie. Unless it was freed from Whirlpool and I just didn't notice on that turn, which could have been possible, I guess. They bring in Cress here, which probably means this thing is... Okay, hold on. Which probably means this thing wants to set up, like, Calm Minds, Moonblasts, whatever. So you are Terra poisoned. If they go for a Moonlight and I go for a Calm Mind, I feel like I'm in decent shape. So I'm going to Calm Mind here. Because I expect them to Moonlight. Yeah, they do outspeed me, which is a little bit annoying. I don't really think I want to lock into a Calm Mind War with this thing. That's a little bit spooky. So I'm just going to go out and attack now. I'm going to Thunderbolt and hopefully get a Para at some point with this. Once I get a Para, you know, if you give me enough turns, then we could be in good shape. Because we'll outspeed it. And it has a chance to not attack, obviously. A crit would also be great, so we're just going to Thunderbolt again. They could Calm Mind here, but crits, Paras, you know, I am getting opportunities to end up winning this 1v1 if they give me more time. So they may not, and they may just go straight for, like, a Psyshock. Depending on how invested they are, it's not killing. Okay, go straight for a Psyshock. I don't know how much special attack they have. Come on, get the Para. No Para. So here's an interesting debate about whether I Thunderclap or not. I don't think I do. Thunderclap doesn't kill, so they may feel safe going for an attack and letting this thing go lower, but then if they let it go lower, they're going to risk being revenged, so they're not going to do that. So they're just going to Moonlight here. I'm just going to Thunderbolt again. Another chance for a crit, another chance for a Para. Nothing. So this time I Thunderclap because now they're way out of range of everything. If they Calm Mind here, you know, that could be a problem. Could be a problem, but I'm locked in. They're way out of range of, like, whatever, you know, attacks I go for, so I feel like they're going to feel safe trying to get the KO here before I get more chances to crit and more chances to Para, because that is always something that is going to be on the back of their mind. And they're thinking about it. They know that there's a 50-50 here. And they didn't go for it. Wow. Okay, just Moonlight then? Okay, Moonlight's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. Psyshock, Moonlight, Calm Mind. And they're Terra Poison. Okay. I'm just going to Thunderbolt here. I'm not going to Thunderclap. And damage is not going to mean a ton for me at this point. So Cresselia kills Raging Bolt with Psyshock. I don't know. I wasn't looking closely enough. Maybe they just got out of the Whirlpool at the exact wrong moment for me. I think it's Boulder here. I think it has to be Boulder here. I don't know what their last move is. I do still have that Terra Water in my back pocket. I can, like, they could have T-Wave as their last move, but I don't see that. I think I SD here. It's the only way I'm ever breaking through this is actually going for, like, bigger damage, so. Well, Swords Dance, if Scizor does choose to come in, then we OHKO it with Mighty Cleave, which means that it needs to go for a Bullet Punch, which means I can Terra at some point. But if they can bait out that Terra, then they can more safely, you know, go for a Freeze Dry play later. They do switch. Henne. Is that Lando? It's Mandy. Okay, and it's not Boots. And we're now +2. I can't let them foul play. What if they're like Scarf Mandy to foul play specifically in this situation? That still kills even if I Terra. So if they are Scarf Mandy, they just get me here. I think it's a risk I'm willing to take. If they're Scarf Mandy, just look, I'm not beating this prep. If they're Shed Shell, Cresselia, and Scarf Mandy for like these exact scenarios, then I'm not beating that prep. You know, like that's just not how it works. So they are the Berry, and they're weak armor. So not Scarf, but Berry and weak armor. Okay. Chardy Berry, foul play, weak armor, kills Iron Boulder with foul play. Okay. I do have Rev of Room now. This might be my best chance to set it up. Mandibuzz is fast. And foul play is still doing 50% to Rev of Room. I could go into Zapdos, but Mandibuzz once again is fast. I could go Prim. But I feel like I need Rev of Room. Like if I just go for a Shift Gear, foul play is doing like 50%. How much is Bullet Punch doing? If I'm Terrid, 27%. I don't think if I have a choice. I have to just like try to live. Well, I don't kill the Lando, so I have to go Prim here. I don't kill the Lando from full. I don't know if I can. That Cresselia still being alive is actually insane. Insanity. I'm just gonna Moonblast here. I know it shows my last move, which I don't love, because then it shows that the Cresselia can safely come in here. I have to go back and watch the footage to see if this thing actually, if that thing actually is Shed Shell, or if it escaped the Whirlpool and I just wasn't paying attention. So they just go for a Brave Bird here. Yeah, that's sort of what I expected. It did its job, so. Primarina kills Mandibuzz with Moonblast. Now they've seen all 4 moves. They know Crest can come back in. If Crest does come back in, I think I just click Perish Song just to make sure that it can't just like set up forever against me. If Scizor comes in here, I don't know what I'm gonna do against Lando. That's my biggest concern right now. It's like, what am I doing against Lando here? Like, unironically, I think it's Iron Head flinching it. That's gonna be the best answer I have to a Landorus. Bundle comes in. It didn't. It's boots. Okay, bundle's boots. Sure. Yeah. They just freeze dry here. I mean, I'm just gonna Moonblast. Does KO. That may only KO because of the crit from earlier, which is even better, but that's not here nor there. Oops. Iron Bundle kills Primarina with freeze. Dry. I mean, it has to be Rev of Room. It has to be Shift Gear, right? Like, that's... And even then, it's going to come down to probably 2, maybe 3 flinches. Those are my only outs at this point. No sense Terra-ing at this time. Terra Electric doesn't do anything right yet. It just locks me into being Electric type, whereas I don't know if I prefer to be Steel Poison, so... They could miss a Hydro. Missing a Hydro would be huge. Then I can go for a Terra Blast. They bring in the Lando. And... You know, we play from there. Why is the base Lando special? Taunt. Their prep is perfect. What? Okay. Their prep is like actually perfect. That's crazy. At this point, they're gonna switch, right? But that's fine. I mean, what is what it is. They're gonna switch into Lando. They're gonna get me on this too. Like, I don't even... Their prep is literally perfect. It's crazy. They looked at my team and they made exactly perfect reads on the exact sets that I ended up choosing to bring, which is amazing to be able to play against, but also super frustrating. And that's no disrespect. That is a compliment to my opponent for sure. That is 100% a compliment to my opponent. They are going to switch to Lando, aren't they? They switch Archaladon. I mean, that's... At least I attack it. It's not going to do anything. It's going to activate Stamina, you know? I mean, if they just like Draco here, or Electro Shot, Zapdos is just going to take a massive hit. I mean, I don't know if I have a choice though. That's just like, that's my switch in rate, so. They're not Power Herb, so Electro Shot will take 2 turns, so I do get off an attack here. But they just Dragon Pulse. Doesn't 2 a KO. I mean, I'm going to close combat. It allows Acrobatics to do more later. They are at +1, so it's never going to come anywhere near killing. I do have the White Herb, so I don't just insta-die to something, but... they do get a stamina boost here as well. So I'm not insta-dead. But I'm going to have to go for another one here. And hope that I And I'm just going to have to, you know, crit something. Anything, game? No, I don't deserve it. This prep is just too good. I don't deserve hacks, dude. Don't give it to me, game. Absolutely do not give me hacked on this. Like, I deserve to get absolutely smoked. Their prep is so perfect. It is incredible. It is actually incredible how good their prep is. Like, I'm played out, you know? I'm going to finish the game, but I'm going to shift gear, and I'm going to see what happens, basically. Is what it's going to come down to. You never know. No crit. Didn't deserve it, so totally fine. So our Chaludon kills Zapdos G with Dragon Pulse. Yeah, we flip shift gear, and we pray for a lot of flinches later. That's it. It's +3 defense anyway, so I don't even know if I can kill it with like Temper Flare at +2 at +1. That's not the right one. There's Body Press at +3. That puts me in range of Bullet Punch anyway. And I'm pretty sure I don't even kill a Temper Flare. Like, I don't even get this kill. So I'm going to go for it, obviously, just to... Yeah, no, I don't even come close. Okay, yeah. Wow, I just got absolutely curb stomped, and with Body Press. And you know, that's part of the game. That's the game we play sometimes. I need to go back and rewatch and see if they got out of Whirlpool or if they actually were Shed Shell Cresselia, because that is absurd prep. Mandibuzz with the Charty Berry, knowing it's going to go take rocks and live. 1+2 Mighty Cleave, obviously that's prepped. Banded Scizor got me, you know, the leftovers in the Chaludon literally is the reason that it was able to survive until it got off the Body Presses on the Revivroom. So, like, literally every item mattered and every item was perfect. I got nothing bad to say. My opponent absolutely came in ready to just like take me and kill me, and they did it. They did a good job. That's just sometimes you get absolutely out prepped. Wow, you know, I'm just in awe. Anyway, we're not gonna be prepping for next week. We are, just as a heads up to everybody, going away for a week, so we're gonna make it work with whatever prep I end up with. I'm not probably making playoffs at this point, and I gotta be okay with that. We got 2 weeks left. We're not gonna lose them. Not gonna like throw them. Not gonna meme them. But the prep level, at least for next week, is gonna go down because I'm just not even gonna be around to prep. I'm gonna take this vacation and enjoy myself on it, and distract myself from Pokemon a little bit. Anyway, also, if you're watching this, the TBL applications for TBL Season 12 in the TBL Discord server, I said that a lot of times, are live. That season will start in January, so if you want to join the TBL, links in the description below to join the Discord. You'll find the application for the season there, and you can fill it out and join the league. This league I run, we do it live on Twitch with casters. Your battles, you know, if you participate in it, will be commentated by 2 other people. All, you know, VGC or something where someone is sitting in a casting booth and commentating as you and your opponent are battling. So it's a way different league than like a YouTube league where you sit here and talk to a camera. I really think it's a cool opportunity for people to get exposed to other, you know, types of play, and, you know, people literally sitting down and dissecting your sets and your move decisions for you, which is, you know, something a lot of people don't get for feedback. So if you want to join that, it's going to be in the description. Go join the TBL Discord server, and you can sign up, and we'll be doing an early preseason, and then we will be doing the actual main season come January. Other than that, not a lot to talk about. We are doing our best in this league, and our best is not quite good enough, but that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I have finally taken a real loss as opposed to all these like 1-0 losses that I was taking before, and that's probably going to hurt my odds for getting into the playoffs this season. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody.